Hi, this video is a lesson on the novel which is part of the literature component for Form 5. The title of the novel is Dear Mr. Kilmer. So this is a question and answer video. The question is lessons learned by the main character to make him or her a better person. Now let's look at the format. First, in the first paragraph, you must have the introduction. You must write the title, the author, and then a short summary of the novel. And then for content 2, you must write number 1, the character, Richard Knight. Lesson 1, to be brave, to tell others of his interest in writing poems. Content 2, lesson number 2, not to be prejudiced towards others. And lesson 3, to be supportive and care for family members. So, and then the conclusion will be the summary of the ideas that you have mentioned in the contents. Reminders: make sure that you use past tense to write the events in the novel for your evidence, and then read the questions a few times to understand the task. And then the last one, determine whether only a character or more should be written in your answers. Now let's look at the introduction. The novel that I read was Dear Mr. Kilmer by Anne Shraft. The novel is about a farm boy, Richard Knight, who lived in Turtle Lake, Iowa. He was 50 years old and had an elder sister, Angie, and brother, Gus. The story evolved around Richard, who loved to write poetry, and his relationship with his family, Hannah Schirmer, his classmate, and Mr. Joyce Kilmer, a famous poet who joined the army during World War I. Let's look at content 1, which is paragraph 2. The main character, Richard Knight, learned some lessons. First is the lesson that he should be brave or courageous. His passion was writing poems, but he hid his interest from others. He wrote poems in his room and kept them in his drawer. After that, he knew about a famous poet, Mr. Joyce Kilmer, from Mrs. Hanson, his English teacher. Mrs. Hanson read the poem Trees by Mr. Kilmer in class one day and talked about him joining the army. Richard found his hero and decided to write a letter to Mr. Kilmer. In his reply, Mr. Kilmer encouraged Richard to be courageous and tell others around him about his passion. He then told his family and also Mrs. Hanson. Although his father, Pa, sister Angie, and brother Gus showed no interest, Mrs. Hanson encouraged him to read his poems in class, and he even read his poems. She also helped pick a poem to be sent to Mr. Kilmer. For content 2, which is paragraph 3, you can write, the second lesson that Richard learned was he should stand up to what he believed was right, such as human beings should be respected and not discriminated because of their race. Hannah Schirmer was his classmate. Her parents were Germans who had lived in America for many years. Since there was a war between America and Germany, many people in Turtle Lake Town and their classmates were prejudiced about the Schirmers. Hannah's book cover was propped with the word Dirty Hun, and her parents' tavern was vandalized. When Mrs. Hanson suggested to send a card expressing regret to the Schirmers, many classmates refused to sign. Richard felt that the Schirmers were badly discriminated, so he was the only one who signed the card. He even volunteered to give the card to the Schirmers. Although Hannah was rude to him when she reluctantly accepted the card, she did apologize to Richard. They became close friends after this incident. For content 3, which is paragraph 4, last but not least, Richard also learned that he should care and support his family members. After his mother died when he was 7 years old, his elder sister Angie had to take over their mother's duties. After that, Angie did all the house chores and also helped with farm work. Richard appreciated his sister's sacrifice by helping her sister in the kitchen after supper doing the house chores. He also learned to help his pa. He showed his support for his father, as when he got home from school, he did his chores, gathered the eggs and pitched hay for the horses on the farm. During summer, he spent his days on the farm, plowing, planting, and cultivating. He also took care of the horses. He loved working on the farm with his father. For the conclusion, which is the last paragraph, you can write, in a nutshell, Richard Knight learned some lessons like one should be brave, respect other human beings, and care and support family members. He became a better person because of these lessons. Thank you. We have just finished our lesson on the question and answer for the novel Dear Mr. Kilmer. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Educator Omni Tube. Okay, goodbye for now.